Welcome to the first of our Lent readings for 2026. Thank you for joining us, whether you're returning for another year or joining us for the first time. This year's readings, we're going to be looking at verses from the New Testament that every Christian should know. And when I say know, I probably would go further and say should memorise. So maybe over the next few weeks, as we work our way through these verses, becoming familiar with them and where to find them, you might like to consider committing some of them to memory. You never know when God may bring to mind at just the right moment a verse or passage that you once memorised, either for your benefit or the benefit of sharing with somebody else. As we go through this series, we'll look at least one verse from every New Testament book and two from the longer books. So we're going to start with the first book of the New Testament, which is Matthew, and a verse from chapter 6. I'll read it through twice. Matthew 6, verse 33. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Matthew 6, verse 33. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Matthew groups the teachings of Jesus into 5 sections, and this is from the first of them that covers chapters 5 to 7, and is better known as the Sermon on the Mount. So named because it records at the start that Jesus sat on a mountainside to teach the crowd. This verse comes right in the middle of the teaching at the end of chapter 6. The chapter begins with Jesus warning about keeping religious observances for reward. He tells the crowd not to fast, give, or pray just to get recognition from others, but only to bring honour to God. At a time when many of us will be talking about what we are going to be giving up or taking on for Lent, Jesus reminds us that the reason we do it is not to seek approval from others, or even our own self-approval, but as an act of discipline before God as we seek to refocus our priorities. Having warned against making the approval of others the focus of our lives, Jesus goes on to tell those listening not to get caught up making the material things of life our focus either. He warns against worrying about the general things of life such as money or clothes or food. If we make these things our priority, we'll always be at risk of anxiety because we make our provision entirely reliant upon ourselves. Instead, follow the advice of verse 33 and seek his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Remember, God sees you and he sees your circumstance. He actually knows it better than you do. Just consider for a moment the word provision. It's made up of 2 parts, pro, meaning before, and vision, meaning to see. God's provision means he sees our needs before they even existed. He sees it, and he sees to it. Maybe you're aware of the concerns of life pushing in on your relationship with the Lord. Lent could be just the right time for you to refocus and think through what this verse is telling us. It can be a great blessing just to pause and refocus your spiritual priorities. Some of you will know that I play guitar regularly on a Sunday at church. Each service I get my guitar out and tune it before I play, because over the week, with it knocking around in its case and going through temperature changes as we go from house to church and back again, it will detune a little. If I just rush into the service, distracted by everything else that's going on, get it out and play without tuning, it won't sound quite right. If I left it like that for a few weeks, it would get worse and worse, and it would become a distraction rather than a blessing. Our relationship with God is similar. We need to regularly retune our hearts and focus our lives. There is an opportunity here in Lent this year to pause, to retune, to first seek his kingdom and his righteousness and let God take care of the worries of life. So one more time, Matthew 6 verse 33. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Amen. Until next time, have a blessed day.